Hello there, Sagittarius. This is Ashley. We're going to be doing your reading for the week of the 19th, specifically focusing on the full moon in Pisces. So the full moon in Pisces is taking place on the 20th, so right at the start of that week. And it's happening in the final degrees of Pisces. And it's a full moon. So we get like this triple whammy of release and surrender associated with this full moon. Now, when we think of those things, release and surrender, it can kind of feel like, oh, I don't want to do that, right? But I do feel like there are some other really nice alignments taking place at this full moon that are going to make release a lot easier than maybe it normally would feel. So it's happening in the final degrees, which means it's happening at the very end of the entire zodiac wheel. And so there's this huge cycle that's coming to a close for you and for everyone. So we're going to look and see what that might be for you. Now, if this reading doesn't resonate, please go ahead and check your other placements, as you may find messages there. So Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus would be good places to check. I am going to be doing a collective full moon reading. I did not do the last new moon. I was out of town. But we'll look at this full moon, so we'll take a look at the alignments, and then we'll do a collective reading to kind of see what the general theme of release might be. If this is your reading, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get going here for Sagittarius. Some already very powerful messages coming through here. So let's pull some tarot and see what we're looking at here for Sagittarius. So this will apply to the whole week. You will probably already be feeling this energy as you watch this reading, even if it's ahead of time of the full moon. Let's see, we have Patience, which is Temperance. That's you, Sagittarius. We have the Six of Wands. And we have the Page of Swords. We have the Five of Wands, the Five of Cups, and the Six of Cups. And then we have the Four of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Hanged Man. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Pentacles. It's called the Ace of Earth in this deck. This is the Good Tarot. So some sort of solid, grounded new beginning coming into play. We'll see how that pops through in the reading. So far, the theme has been with the fire signs. We do have some Leo coming through here, so you might want to look at the Leo reading. But the theme has been ending, beginning, right? The two kind of happen together, whether we notice it or not. Like the minute something ends, a new beginning is already taking place under the surface, and sometimes not so under the surface. So what I'm getting here so far, I kind of feel like you get fed up with something here in the past. Could even be a little bit of frustration and rage that comes out. and kind of sets you on a new trajectory, one in which you are moving forward and manifesting your new beginning, right? And it does feel like some sort of soul calling, perhaps even, that you may not have realized that you were ignoring. It may suddenly kind of come to you as like this epiphany, and something about it, you're like, oh wow, that has been what I've always wanted. I don't know why I never saw it before. Kind of feel to it. In the past position, we have Waking the Lion. So this card talks about kind of finding that courage, that Leo energy within, to make a bold step, to stand up for yourself, to really step into your own power. But what I'm really feeling with this is it's waking the lion. Something has woken up your inner aggressor. Kind of feels like you maybe got a little pissed here, a little fed up with something. And rather than remaining in this very patient, temperance-like space, rather it kind of snapped you out of that and put you into a place of, I'm no longer going to take this crap, is what I'm feeling here. So let's see what that situation might be. Get some clarifying cards and see if we can narrow this down a bit. I mean, it very well could be something that you've tried to have patience with for a long time, and it finally just was like the last straw. What do we have? Temperance. Ace of Swords, some sort of truth or communication or revelation. And the Ten of Swords. Putting an end to something, right? Something that could have very well felt like a betrayal type of situation. Perhaps some sort of truth was revealed and it lit your fire. And I almost feel like this lack of hesitation with cutting it out. With this Ace of Swords, you can see that on one side there's an olive branch, and on one side there's a palm frond. So it was like this double-edged sword. Like if you knew that by cutting out this past thing, that would be the thing you have to sacrifice with that palm frond there. But it was like it brought you peace to do so with that olive branch. And so it kind of feels like one of those things where you had to like cut something out, even if it was uncomfortable. Let's look at the Five of Wands. There you are again, Temperance. And Three of Swords. So let me get one more. Ten of Wands. Okay, so something that was clearly weighing you down. It was like backbreaking kind of conflict, heartbreak, just all manner of BS. Because I feel like it almost feels like something had been growing for a while. This Five of Wands, you know, she's got all these butterflies around her, but it looks like her crown that she's wearing are these red mushrooms. And mushrooms can tend to grow in the darkness. It's like unseen building of this frustration, this anger, right? And it finally just exploded. What's the Four of Cups here? We have the Four of Pentacles and the Empress. Why the Empress? The Knight of Cups. So it kind of feels like you maybe decided after whatever this truth was that came through, this communication, this awareness, however that showed up for you, it suddenly became clear to you that you were like holding on to something that wasn't even worthy of you. Could have been dealing with a Taurus, Libra, again Sagittarius if you were dealing with another Sagittarius. Doesn't have to be those signs, but those are the bigger ones showing up here. Pisces and some Leo again. But it's like you decided, like, I can do better than this. That's what that feels like to me. With the Nine of Cups and the Empress, it's like you are, you have this awareness come in that you're perfectly capable of manifesting exactly what you deserve, and that you're not willing to hold on to the garbage anymore. So very empowering situation here in the past. Now in the present we have the High Priest. It says intend and create. So this would be like the Magician in tarot. You could also see this as the Divine Masculine, sort of like the counterpart to the High Priestess. So someone who's very intuitive, someone who's capable of manifesting, and is sitting in a very empowered place. So it's like taking control and deciding what you're going to create. We have the Six of Wands, the Five of Cups, and the Two of Wands. We have some regretful energy here at the center. It could very well be that the way in which you harshly cut this out as a result of it waking the lion, that there's some regret about that. Like perhaps you didn't handle it in a way that you're proud of. It can also be that you're kind of just looking forward as well. In this depiction of the Five of Cups, she's kind of got her hand up on her head. And it's almost like she's peering into the future. Because we have the Four of Cups, 5, 6. It's like you're moving up, right? And really deciding to expand into the future. I like this depiction of the Two of Wands. It's like this giraffe holding a lantern, kind of leading the way. And you can see it's lighting up this gap in the path here. And so it's like this expansion energy, maybe using the tools in your belt like the Magician would to manifest a victory, a success for you. I also am getting this feeling that in some ways it's like you're having to kind of like boost yourself up here. Because with the Six of Wands sitting above this Five of Cups, it's like you're having to remind yourself that you're doing the right thing. You know how like our mind can start to question and doubt and send us into the past, like thinking, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have done this. The shoulda, coulda, woulda type of energy. And with the Six of Wands, you can see it is like hot air balloons. And something about that hot air, it's like, and it's not that you're like telling yourself false things. You absolutely can manifest and overcome the past and move forward in a positive direction. But it's like you're trying to have more control over that monkey mind by like really puffing yourself up, like boosting yourself somehow, if that makes sense. So let's look at some more detail here. Why do we have the Six of Wands? We have Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune. With the Five of Cups, we have the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Okay, hold on just a sec. And with the Two of Wands, we have the Lovers and the Two of Pentacles. Okay. So with the Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune here, I think you're definitely answering some sort of call to the soul. And we talked about that earlier with that Six of Cups. Something that like you're eventually going to discover has been calling to you the whole time, right? And like I was saying with this Five of Cups, that regret of the energy, I think you do have some regrets of how dramatically you handled and cut out this past situation. And I would just say give yourself a break because clearly it was building, right? There was something there that wasn't being acknowledged the whole time. And it was just building, building, building until boom, it exploded. And so, you know, it feels like you might be beating yourself up a little bit about that. And I would just release that because it looks like you're headed in a really positive direction. With the Two of Wands, we have the Lovers and the Two of Pentacles. There's a choice here. It could be a choice in a partner. But it also could very well be this choice between, are we going to choose something that our heart desires, or are we going to choose something that's practical? And so it's like you're trying to boost yourself up and choose this soul calling that is like hounding you almost. And you're trying to like boost your own confidence. Yeah, I can make this happen. But I think it almost feels like down here there's just a lot of this mental energy that's really messing with you and kind of tripping you up a little bit here. We have the Five of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, so it could just be like this choice between heart and head. Is it going to make me enough money? Can I do this? Now with the Lover showing up here, but I'm really not feeling this as a, it feels more like your higher self is what's calling you forward to kind of, like as if this was your higher self, this angel that sits above the Lovers, right? It's like calling to you and you're not sure it's going to pay the bills, right? So I do feel like you're going to manifest this soul calling. Like to me, that's showing up as the strongest energy here. I think it's just a matter of kind of getting out of your head a little bit and really kind of practicing some self-compassion for what's happened in the past and, you know, get that out of your head. So in the future, we have the Phoenix rising, soul radiance. So something is coming up out of you, similar to, see in this Judgment card, he's calling up the dead. But it can also be this like soul calling. Something is being born through you. We have the Page of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Hanged Man. And this is the future position. This is where I was kind of talking about having this like recognition that perhaps this thing, whatever it might be for you, has been calling to you for some time. With the Page of Swords here, it could be that you're definitely, doing some research, really trying to kind of feed and temper that mental energy. If we give our ego as much information as it can hold about, how are we going to pay the bills, really taking care of the practical aspects, coming up with a plan is what that feels like. It can maybe settle it down a little bit. I don't really think it works. It can feel like it helps a little bit, but I think you're kind of coming into this place of really kind of seeing what it is that is calling to you and why. It's like you get the why behind it. Let's see, why do we have the Page of Swords? The Five of Cups. There's that doubt, that worry, that mental energy we're talking about. And the Ace of Cups. Six of Cups. And the Page of Swords. So a lot of repeats here. And it's essentially just telling me the same thing again and again. And the Page of Cups. And with the Hanged Man, we're getting the King of Swords. And let me get this card I dropped. The Devil. Why the Devil? And the Two of Swords. So, okay. I feel like perhaps this thing's been calling to you. With all these pages, it's just like these little messages that have been coming through, right? And that's been coming through for a lot of the readings. We've had the Fool come out twice for Aries and Leo, and it felt very much like this nagging calling that just wouldn't quit. And I do feel like you are trying to kind of feed the mind here and say, it's going to be okay because of X, Y, and Z. This is the plan. Yeah, we have doubts, but I really think we can do this. It's like this battle. And like I said, it's like you're trying to puff yourself up to get past the doubts and the pain of the past and that kind of thing. But I think with this Hanged Man, what's interesting, you're not only gaining clarity, you're also going to see, because the Hanged Man can also be stuck energy, you're also going to see how you've been keeping yourself stuck in the past. It's like it comes through this sudden awareness of clarity, of this soul calling that's been calling to you for who knows how long, could be your whole life, with that Six of Cups. And now you're going to clearly see not only that it has been calling to you, but how you have contributed to your own almost kind of like prison here by not just going for it. And I think you'll get some more clarity as well as to how that mental body that keeps saying, oh, this is never going to work, oh, we're going to fail, we're going to lose all our money, all that negative, repetitive, it's like it's on a record player, right? And I think you're going to see how perhaps that mental energy isn't helping you. So you could certainly look into how to reframe and perhaps even do some affirmations. We have that Six of Wands here that I was talking about, like really puffing yourself up. Maybe introduce some affirmations. you know, if you've never done them, they can feel a little bit silly at first. They do work. So it's like you're rewiring the brain by redirecting and changing the focus, making it more positive. And I think that'll really lighten your load here. So that's looking really good, Sagittarius. I hope this was helpful. And I'll be interested to see if this continues to play out in future readings. But I feel like everything here is pointing in a positive direction. Something is rising up in you and it's going to come out, even if your mental body is stressed, or, you know, stressing you out. I think you'll just ease your own struggle here if you know, take some proactive steps to work with that. And realize that following your heart puts you in a vibrational match to the best outcome anyway. And so even if it doesn't seem like a practical new beginning, it looks like it is. It's just, you know, convincing the mind of that can be nearly impossible. So reframe, and I hope that you found this helpful. I will see you in the next one. Good luck. Bye.